What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the North Shore 9 post-game show, sponsored by Permanente Brothers. I'm Neil. I'm here with Doug. Doug, I can't believe it, but the Pirates have lost another game. And
shocking.
Yeah. That never happens.
Right.
Before we get into it, first I just want to read to you guys about BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports bet action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the NBA and NHL playoffs, and BetOnline has more ways to stay in the action with the latest odds, news, and scores with even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains one of the best online source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here. So, Doug, the Pirates lose another Paul Skenes start. They dropped this one 2-1 to the St. Louis Cardinals. We've now officially lost the series, I believe. We have. We've lost the series. We've lost 6 straight games. And we are 3-5 in Paul Skenes starts.
Paul Skenes has now made 5 starts against the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Pirates have scored 3 runs in the games that he's played, while he was pitching. We could nitpick about Paul Skenes' performance tonight, but what do they say? It's the economy, stupid. It's the offense, stupid, right?
It's the same story every night. At least give us a little bit of something new to talk about.
I know it's very challenging to get on and talk about this team because and we've been saying this for 3 years, right? You could just play a show that we did 3 weeks ago or 4 days ago or 2 years ago, or it's the same problem, and it's frustrating and I did a little math today just for fun because I was bored during the game because it was a very boring game. When Bob Nutting took over as the sole, controlling, partner of this team, the Pirates had an all-time record of 9,556 wins, 9,290 losses for, they were plus 266 there. It's a pretty storied franchise, and that was, that was 2007. We were in a 20 game, losing stretch, and still we're that far over 500. After tonight, they are 2,840, or no, I'm sorry. They're now 10,851 wins and 10,843 losses, a mere 8 games over 500. At this rate, in 2 weeks, this franchise all-time record is going to be less than 500. When does somebody in that organization says, this is enough? Not on my watch. You know what I'm saying? This. I'm sorry, I don't want to go off on tangents, but it's pathetic. This great franchise with this great history, with these great players, is just, to borrow a phrase, a hodgepodge of nothingness. Did you see the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters tonight? Just not a chance. In the 9th inning, look at the murderer's row that's coming up here. If Cruz, Reynolds, Bart, Hayes, and McCutcheon do not produce 4 runs, there's just nothing. There's no. It's so easy. I think that tonight was the 199th consecutive game that the opposing starting pitcher set a career high in strikeouts. This team stinks. This offense stinks. The management stinks. It's absurd. It's absurd that they do nothing about this.
Yeah, it's. I mean, to be fair, we saw what the reinforcements were tonight. Everyone was clamoring for the backups. Well, we
Right.
got Canario, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. He's now hitting 122. His OPS is now under 400. Matt Gorski, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Probably got hosed on the call there, but still. And Piguero got a hit. He went 1 for 3. So good for him. And Henry Davis, 0 for 2 with the walk. So that is the reinforcements Derek Shelton has. And
Right.
when he won in the ninth, we needed a boost. Who could he turn to? Well, he could turn to Adam Frazier and Emmanuel Valdez. And we're in year 6.
Yeah,
And
yeah. This is, and that's the. This is. It's time to win. Time, right? Uh,
mhm.
um, it's just insulting. It's, I mean, I don't know how they sit up there and accept this and don't, you know. Look, I'd be happy for a panic move right now. Something, please. I mean, you listed Carrington, or I'm sorry, Shelton does not have good options, but I would just, fire him to show that, hey, we're not happy with what's going on.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I'd
fine.
fire Ben Cherington. Honestly, I'd fire Ben Cherington first.
Yeah.
This is year 6 of a rebuild, and his best options in the ninth inning are Adam Frazier and Emmanuel Van Valdez. His best option. I mean, again, we're clamoring for Gorski and we're clamoring for Piguero, and we're going to be,
Speak for
we're
yourself.
clamoring for, Nick Gonzalez, and I mean, it's just, you know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The incompetence, the ineptness, and what seems to be, complete lack of urgency, lack of competitive drive, lack of pride, and I mean in the management team, as much as I do, what the players are doing. It's just,
Yeah,
you
and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Like I think at this point we've hit the must-win territory. But usually speaking, there are no must-wins like in April and May. Like things just happen. It's a long season, but when your team is this bad on offense, you cannot be dropping 5 Paul Skenes starts already.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
5 of 8. That doesn't fly. It doesn't
no,
fly. And I will finally get. We'll talk. Let's frame this within the game because Paul Skenes was very, very, very good for 5 innings tonight. I will even say 5.2 innings. And he was stuck in a pitcher's duel with Matthew Liberatore, who is not a good pitcher. I don't care
no,
that he's had a
it's
good
not.
season. He's not a good pitcher. And the Pirates specifically have owned Liberatore in the past. Like, I think the broadcast was saying he had a career ERA in the eights
Yeah, I think, yeah, it
against
was
the
like
Pirates before
seven, eight,
tonight.
four. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah,
so Paul Skenes is caught in a pitcher's duel. There's even an Apple TV notification that was going out like, hey, 2 hits in this pitcher's duel between Paul Skenes and Matthew Liberatore. Like, that is the framework because nothing really happens for 5 innings. So let's talk a little bit about Paul Skenes. I think people are really jumping the shark about Paul Skenes. Like he went 6 innings tonight, 3 hits, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 2 earned runs off of an Alec Burleson double that knocked in 2. That Alec Canario honestly should have been 1 run, but Canario couldn't field the ball properly. So his ERA is now at 2.77 on the year. And the way people are talking about Paul Skenes and the performance you had tonight, you would think that he gave up 5 earned runs.
right.
I don't get it. He was still
No,
really good.
yeah, yeah, right. That was a great outing. It really was. But because he gave up those runs, like, in the bottom of the sixth, after we had
Mhm.
taken a lead, because he wasn't as sharp with his control, because he walked 4 guys, because he throws too many pitches. Right. You're right. We're talking about him. The discourse about him is if he's, just gave up 8 runs. Right. And it's because he set such a high standard, and because we have attached so much to him, and we know we need to win those starts, that we want to, like, oh, this is on Skenes, or Shelton should have pulled them, or any of that stuff. Paul Sk- Paul Skenes pitched a gem tonight. It wasn't his sharpest outing by no means.
Mhm.
But Paul Skenes did more than enough to put this team in a position to win the game. But they scored a run, right? They scored one
Mhm.
run. This is 100% on the offense. This is 100% on Ben Cherington, Bob Nutting, whomever. It's not on Paul Skenes. And again, you can put it on the hitters, or I mean, maybe we should just call them batters. We don't really have hitters. But yeah, I mean, Skenes, like I said, Skenes, I would love to see him throw less pitches. I'd love to see him be more efficient, because what you're doing is you're pitching. More pitches means fewer innings, which means more opportunity for Colin Holderman or David Bednar or Kyle Nicholas or somebody of that nature coming in. Derek Shelton making a bad decision, sort of thing. So yeah, I would love to see him. I mean, I guess for his success and the Pirates' success, he probably needs to go 7 or 8, because you just can't. You know what I'm saying? This team can't score, and if it's a problem for our starting pitchers. If you allow 2 runs, there's a pretty good chance you're going to lose the game.
Yeah. And so here are Paul Skenes' earned runs in games that he's lost. Well, not that he's lost, but the Pirates have lost. So against Miami, 2 earned runs. Against St. Louis, 5 earned. Against Cleveland, 2 earned. Against Chicago, 3 earned, and tonight 2 earned. Like, this is your ace. Like, yeah, and he's not as sharp as he's been last year, but I think, no pitcher runs sub 2 ERAs all season. Like, the days of prime Pedro Martinez are mostly over. So, like, I think the expectations are just a little too high. I get it. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball, and we're expecting greatness. But, like, when he's off and we think he looks shaky, at the very least, he gives you plenty of innings and he gives you plenty of stuff. And when he hands the ball off, the Pirates are in a position where they should win the game.
All right.
Besides that
2
one
runs.
St. Louis start. Besides the St. Louis start, a couple and maybe St. Louis just has his number, but honestly, I don't think they had his number tonight at all.
No, I would think a guy, if he gave you 30 starts, 6 innings, and 2 runs in each start, I would think he would be starting the All-Star game. He would be in contention for the Cy Young, and he would be close to 20 wins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what you're looking at. You're looking at one of the better pitchers in baseball, one of the better pitchers that the Pirates have ever had, and if his career continues at this rate, going to be one of the best pitchers of all time. And he's 3-5 because he is backed by a team that can't hit, right?
Mhm.
And is doing nothing about it. It is sitting idly by while they don't hit. Some of these experiments, have to stop. Triolo, I'm sorry. I love Jared Triolo. He's such a good fielder. I mean, he's pretty much proven now over, parts of 3 seasons. This isn't a small sample size with Jared Triolo, right? Henry Davis, I'm sorry, but it might be time to give up on that one. And then, of course, everybody, all the Canarios fans, Frazier's, Pham and Frazier never should have been here in the first place. So yeah, I mean, it's just, how does Triolo play every day? And again, I don't put this on Shelton because his options are, if he doesn't play Triolo, he has to play Frazier. If he doesn't play Frazier, he has to play Pagero. He does, I mean, pick your poison here. But
yeah.
And
I completely understand wanting to give Pagero at this point over Triolo a run, just because Triolo really can't hit. I was listening to the radio as out for my run for the start of the game, and they were saying that Jared Triolo was tied with Luis Ariz for the longest streak without a strikeout. I'm like, well, that's great. Can he get on base?
Yeah, it's another one of those. Another one of those fake stats? It's the exit velocity type stat. He hits the ball hard, yeah, but to somebody. Right? That's not the only part. Yeah. No, Triolo's not. But I'm saying, we for 3 years we've heard about how hard Hayes hits the ball, and if it's to the shortstop, it doesn't really matter. It makes it easier, right? You're more likely to get double plays when you hit the ball hard to an infielder.
Mhm.
So yeah, um,
Yeah. I mean, the Triolo, here's the thing about Jared Triolo. He is being misused, I think. Like I think Jared Triolo would be fantastic as a 26th guy or a 25th guy, like the last guy you
Neil, I
would
say that all the time. That this team has 10 26th guys, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad if Adam Frazier was the 26th guy. I
Yeah.
mean, he makes some decent plays in the field. He handles the bat okay. At least he's, might not strike out in some of these situations, right? I wouldn't be mad if, Nick Gonzalez was the 26th man. I wouldn't be, but the problem is, a Canario, Valdez, 26th man, fine. But the problem is we've got a 26th man batting fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth. That's a problem. We need some guys to be the 20th guy on a roster, the 18th guy on a roster.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I mean, the real problem is that like even with the injuries, like there's no like real impact bats coming to save this either. But let's talk a little bit about the offense too, like what within the context of tonight. So the Pirates put up 1 run on 4 hits, 3 walks, and 9 strikeouts tonight. They allow Matthew Liberatore to go 7 innings, set a career high in strikeouts with 8, give up 1 run. They get 6 batters off of him, and they are 1 for 4 in runners in scoring position. But like, it's not like this is anything different. Like, the run comes from Cruz manufacturing a walk against a lefty. So, Cruz didn't have the best night at the plate, but I thought he was pretty darn good in center field. He manufactures the walk. He gets that steal where I don't know what Brendan Donovan is doing.
Yeah, that was a very piratey tag right there. That
Yeah.
that I just kept thinking, wait a minute, did this is the kind of thing we do, not the kind of thing that
Yeah,
benefits us, right?
if he just keeps the glove there, like where he catches it, Cruz is dead
Right.
to rights, and he moves it. Like, so that
catches
was nice. And
catches it here and then lifts it up here. I don't
Yeah,
understand, but whatever, it worked. So.
yeah. And then Hayes has a really nice piece of hitting. Laces a double, easily scores his Cruz, but that's the only offense we get. The Pirates
And
do
that's
not.
after Reynolds and McCutcheon do
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
do anything.
The Pirates offense 5 through 9, 1 hit, 1 walk all night, and that's including pinch hitting. However, I mean,
And the walk was kind of a gift. Henry Davis thought he had struck out, right?
I forgot about that.
Right.
Everyone in
Okay.
the world knew that he was just a strikeout
Yeah.
with the umpire there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, yeah, so that's the entire offense. It's so this week so far, the Pirates' offense has been destroyed by Matthew Liberatore. Miles Mikolas did an okay job, and Stephen Kolek? I don't even know his first name. Kolek from the Pirates. I don't know.
Coley.
Like,
Journeyman.
like,
Yeah, a guy that was bad at AAA.
yeah, like it's not exactly murderer's row out here, and the Pirates have scored 4 runs in 3 games. It's a disaster, and Ben Cherington should resign in shame because of this. Like, because even if we get fully healthy, let's say everyone comes back, cool. Our reinforcements are Nick Gonzalez, career 700 OPS hitter, which would be pleasant on this team.
I mean, that's above average on this team, right?
Yeah. It's Spencer Horwitz, who is a guy who has hit, but also has chronic wrist issues. And as Jim keeps spamming in the chat, Nick Solak, who is garbage. Like, those are the reinforcements that are coming to this team if we're all fully healthy. So it's not like this is going to get any better anytime soon. And it's not like the schedule gets any easier. The Cardinals was the layup series.
Yeah.
And we cannot score runs.
Well, again, it's a series where you're going to have Skenes and Keller go. And you've already lost it, right? You haven't even you've already lost the series. Yeah, and no one's going to be shocked if they're swept tomorrow.
No,
And Keller has been
I expect
pitching,
it.
quite well. But yeah, I do too. Um,
And like I think what frustrates me the most is that this is a terrible. I think I talked about it, Tyler. This is a terrible Cardinals team.
yeah.
It's terrible. They're not good.
No, 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 no,
Like,
no. These are not the Cardinals that we've seen, the past 20 years. They've been, what 2 years ago they finished last. And the one time the Pirates did not finish in the basement in the Cherington era.
mhm,
But and right,
like,
they by rights, but they should be last this year. They're that bad.
mhm,
But you've got the old whipping boy Pittsburgh Pirates who, after saying things like it's time to win and year 6 of a rebuild, are running out Tommy Pham, Adam Frazier, Canario, Triolo, Henry David, Matt Gorski. I mean, and look, and I've pushed them to bring up Gorski and play Gorski just because I'd rather see him than Pham or Canario or Frazier, that sort of thing. But yeah, this is, I mean, just you build a team on pitching, you surround them with guys that can't hit, can't field, and then you play those guys in the wrong position. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster. And we're
mhm,
not. This is not hindsight. It's 2020. We were saying this last season. We were saying this, during the off season. We were saying this during spring training, and we've been saying it this season. This is not. We were. I mean, we all thought that they would be better than
yeah.
this.
I don't think
But
there's a single person in North Shore 9 or anyone I was talking to for the most part that actually thought this was a good team.
right.
Um, and I think
But we thought we'd win the
it
skiing starts.
it's it's just so frustrating because everyone in baseball, like now we have like a Jeff Passan tweet every other week about how we're ruining Paul Skenes, how we're wasting his talent, and like it wears on you. Like it really does. Like it's so tiring to have such a great talent. And then not only that, but like have people turn on him because he's not Sandy Koufax out there on the
Right.
mound every night. Like,
Right.
and so like we're now 13 games under 500. I
On
don't,
May 6th.
yeah, on May 6th, I don't think we can
I mean,
necessarily quit.
let's be clear. On May 6th, like that's almost like logistically, that's hard to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
again, most teams, and every team wins 54, every team loses 54, and then there's those 54 in the middle that kind of decide your season. But we are not missing. We're not just losing 54. We're
Mhm.
going to overachieve in the loss column.
Yeah. So yeah, and what did you think of the reinforcements tonight? Uh
Again, Shelton has terrible choices. I don't ever need to see Tommy Pham again. I'd rather see the young guys. So you can definitively say, so I can definitively say Triolo can't play, right? And Canario cannot play, and Henry Davis cannot play, and Gorski. Let's definitively determine that they can't play. So maybe when the next general manager comes in, that part of the decision making process is resolved because another thing that this Ben Cherington era has not provided is answers to any questions about most of the players, right? The
mhm.
way they've used them, the way they've deployed them, we just don't know. Well, we're finding out now. So, let's take that for it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just don't think there any of these guys are Major League Baseball players, which is a sad thing. Like, Canario's not Major League player, Gorski's not, Triolo's not, Frazier is a bench player. Davis, I'm sorry, Davis is not an MLB
Yeah.
player either. Um, so it's
That being said, I'd like to see Davis play 3 or 4 times a week. I just again, yeah, I want Bart playing. He can DH. Kutch can play some outfield, that sort of thing. But yeah, let's give Henry Davis some run. So by the All-Star break, we can say, yeah, he doesn't have it. It's time to give this up and move on. I mean, and he's going to be back, whatever, a couple of weeks. And so Henry probably gets sent down. and people will still be saying, he's never really had much of a chance. Well, there's kind of a reason, because he can't hit, but
Yeah, I mean,
let's
I get it.
let him build up some stats.
But the Pirates aren't in a spot right now to really be playing like that. Like they're not really in a if let's put it this way, Shelton is like I said last night, Shelton's on borrowed time. I don't think he makes it out of the month. I'd be shocked if they get swept tomorrow. I'm going to say that's his last day. You don't have the time if you're trying to get back into the season to be giving guys runs. That's not what this is not the time. Like, you have to play Joey Bart. You have to let Andrew McCutchen get enough rest so he can play as many times at DH. Like, there is no
to what
course
end?
forward.
This team's not getting back. It's not getting back into it.
I mean, yeah, but you can't act like that. Like,
Well,
if you're in charge,
yeah.
like I'm baffled. I swear I'm not turning this into a Shelton thing, because again, I think he's gone. I think he's done, and I don't really care if he's done. Like, again, it doesn't matter, because the team's terrible. The team's awful. But like, sure, Paul. But like, but like, Shelton is criticized a lot for not being a guy who cares about winning, and now it's come to the point where he's trying to play guys like guys who have been proven to be MLB players over the young guys, which is something you do during a rebuild. Like, isn't that what we want Shelton to do? Isn't that I thought that's what we were criticizing for. Like, and like the same thing, like Shelton was criticized again for not changing up the lineup too much, and now he keeps it the same, and now it's a problem. Like, what is he supposed to do? Anything he does is going to be shellacked by everyone. And so, like, what is he supposed to do? I'm confused. Maybe you can explain this to me, Doug, because I don't know what people want.
I mean, for me, like I said, the season's over. There is no coming back from this start.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Shelton's in a terrible position because you're deciding between Frazier and Triolo, right, and Peguero, at second base. You're deciding between Gorski and Valdez, and again, I would like to see Joey Bart play some first base, Henry Davis catch, and I understand, right, that this is not theoretically this is not the time to let's see what these guys can do. However, in my mindset is this season's over. I want them all fired, and I want the new GM to have data on these guys, so he could, And I realize that these guys in this play, they have to appear as if they have this sense of urgency that they've never shown at any point. I mean, Cherington again, and I put it's 99.9% on Cherington in my mind.
I'm not saying you are. Like, and again,
yeah.
Fire
No.
Shelton. I'm just saying, like, from Shelton's perspective, like, this doesn't make any sense. Like,
right.
I understand where you were coming from.
Yeah.
But like, and like, yeah, like, you want the guys to have data. You want to see if you have anyone with these kids. But I'm just like, I don't know what people want Shelton to do. So again, fire Shelton if you want. That'll make people happy for a week.
But it's just going to be Donnie Kelly, right? I mean, it's only. I mean, you should have fired Shelton last year and hired, Terry Francona. I'm not saying he would have taken this job or anything, but that should have been the plan. That should have been the dream, right? But whatever. And again, not that this is Shelton's fault, but you need to send a message once in a while to your ticket buying public, which seems to be fewer and fewer people, that yes, again, we're doing something.
I said that on last night's show. If you fire Shelton, you see if that causes a spark. Maybe Don Kelly has that magic touch that Shelton doesn't. I don't know. But the point being is that the season is over. I 100% agree. But like, such a bad team that I feel like if we had Terry Francona, we'd be lucky if we had 14 wins at this point. But do you want to talk a little bit about our bullpen tonight? Bullpen was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Santana was good. Solid inning. His ERA is now down to 1.26. Bednar also looked really good, really solid, quiet inning. It's a shame that they're not getting high leverage situations. It really is a shame.
Yeah, I mean, right. They're pitching while we're behind. Um, right, with not much at stake, So, but again, this team has, like I said, you've got Paul Skenes. You got a couple other decent pitchers. You've got some decent relievers. You should be able to scratch out the Paul Skenes starts as wins, right? Paul Skenes gave up 2 runs. The bullpen gave up no runs and just 2 innings pitched. But yeah, you should be able to, when you're when your starting pitcher and bullpen only give up 2 runs, you should win that game. All right. We're not even asking for 4 runs here, right? We're asking for 3, right? I mean, yeah. I'm scared of facing the Colorado Rockies. That's how I feel. So
I wish I had more like different things to say because we're in May, early May, and then, like I feel like it's Groundhog Day.
yeah.
What I will say is that I'll close with this. Ever since the trade deadline of last year, the Pirates are playing at about 27 games under 500 clip. It might be worse than that, but I think that's what it was the last time I checked. This has been a bad team for a long time now. Whatever you had at the start of 2024 is not there. The regression is set in, and we are now 13 games under 500 in early May. We're on track to be swept by a terrible St. Louis Cardinals team. And after that, we get the Braves, the Mets, the Phillies, the Reds, and the Brewers over the next 2 weeks. This is going to be a rough month.
And, don't forget the 24th of June, the tailgate. So by then we're probably 20 games under 500, maybe more than that. Assuming we lose, we're going to lose at least 2 out of 3 out of each series. And then, a couple of those will be sweeps. So yeah, it's not looking good. I mean, the only thing to hope is that Nutting comes to his senses and fires them all. Right, just fires them all, and does not allow Ben Cherington to make trades. I don't want Ben Cherington making a trade to save his job. I don't feel comfortable with the outcome of that trade. I really don't want him making the draft pick.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't deserve any future say in how this team goes.
Right.
I mean, and again, like the best, if we don't count DFA like type trades, the best trade of the best hitter performance the Pirates have ever had since 2020 is Jack Suwinski in 2022.
Right.
That is how bad Ben Cherington is at acquiring talent in trades.
And that wasn't it 23, whatever season it was. It was really a bad season, except for like 2 or 3 hot streak. You know what I'm saying? Like that Suwinski season. I know the OPS ended up good. I know you looked at it and you'd say, oh, those numbers were pretty good, but no. And it was May 24th. Sorry about that. It was May 24th.
May 24th. Yeah.
May
24th.
I'm just trying to move ahead as soon as possible, so I can get to complaining about the Steelers.
Yeah. But it's just I hope everyone enjoys the tailgate. Everyone deserves to show up and get the tailgate because it might be the next time you guys get free sandwiches.
I was going to say we might not give out free sandwiches again until the May 24th tailgate.
Well, we'll end with that. The Pirates lose again. It is their 6th straight loss. They are 1-9 in their last 10 games. They are 10.5 games out of first place in the NL Central. Their run differential sits at -52, and we are going to still be here for the whole season. So tomorrow we get the final day of the Cardinal series. It'll be Mitch Keller versus Sonny Gray. I will not be on. I think it'll be Ryan and Cody.
Not me. I'm not on again until Friday.
Yeah, so please tune in.
Bailey Falter road start.
I hope that everyone gets their sandwiches tomorrow. But for now, we are going to peace out. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.